Okay, I'm going to show how I put a 259 connector on the end of my RG58 coax here. So I have a brand new connector with the little crimp collar, and I have various tools here, my stripper, my solder, cutters, an ohm meter with checking for continuity, make sure that I don't have any shorts in there, my Waller soldering gun here, and a little block that I made with just some number 12 solid copper wire, and I just soldered on a couple of alligator clips as my work holder here. So the first thing you do with this, you know that you're going to make a cable, so you have to put on the collar for the 259. Make sure that you put all of these things on in the right sequence and do them first before you put this thing on there. So this piece is going to go onto the coax and slide on down. Next is this is the compression sleeve that goes in there that will push the braid up tight against the housing on there and maintain contact. This is a compression fitting, so this will slide right onto the wire down here, and again it gets out of the way. Now the next thing is you go to HRO, sell this little coax stripper, and it's for about 20 bucks. It has the various diameters for the thickness of the coax, the shield on the outside here, and inside are a couple of blades. I think you can see the blades inside in there. The blades are adjusted, the depth of the blades are adjusted through these two holes here with this little Allen wrench that it gives you. So what I do is real simple. I put this in here and I make my coax protrude a little over ½ an inch, almost 3/4 of an inch. Then I grab my coax really nice and tight, and I use my finger and I spin this around until it gets easy. It's hard at first, and then you one time, maybe time and a half, 2 times around, and then you can just pull this off. What it's done here is, as you can see, it has stripped the center insulation and cut the wire here and the insulation and strip the jacket off of here. Now I have to make sure that none of these little wires in here are touching the center connector, so the braid, because they're very, very fine little wires, and of course all it takes is just one and you'll have a short circuit, and your job is not good, and it's messed up. So you pull all these little wires down. That's all you need. You need a little more than 1/4 inch of the shielding cable there. I'll use my continuity checker just to make sure, okay, no little stray wires are in there. So now that's done. That's pretty easy. So now I can take my connector and I can slide it over and find push the center lead through the center piece there until I find it, and I can push this all the way up there like that. So now I have my center connector coming through the PL where I'm going to solder it. So I'm going to put it in my little holder here so I can be hands-free. Every step of the way I always check continuity and make sure that I haven't got a short in there, that I haven't done anything wrong. So this slides all the way up there. In the connector you can see the copper wire in the little holes, but you don't worry about that. You're not going to try to solder those. That's not necessary. Next I'm going to take my soldering gun here and heat this up here. It only takes a few seconds, and I'm going to heat this up, and when the solder breaks on there, you see it flow right up on that copper wire there all the way to the top, and there we go. That'll cool down a second. And now I have my center connector there soldered in place there. And I always check continuity to make sure that the heat didn't melt something, and so no short in there. Look at that, that's perfect. Okay, so now I need to trim off the excess, the end of this, and I find my two pieces that slid down the coax here. The first one being the compression fitting here, and this will just go up into the base here, and you turn this tight. If you see you can see in the little holes here where the copper wire is, but the compression fitting here will push those away, and you won't see the copper anymore. There, it's gone, and that's nice, and that's good and tight there. And I didn't bring the pliers out here, but I take a pair of pliers on here and I just tighten this up, and it's nice and tight. Once that's done, again, always, every step, check to make sure you don't have a short somewhere, which I don't. That would be a short, so there's no short there. So this connector, once this is tightened, is good to go. It's that simple. And now all I need to do is put the tightening collar sleeve on here. Just like that. And now I have a 259, as easy as that. I made 10 of these things the other day, and it only took me 20 minutes or so.